Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel where we discuss all things living here in the great state of Maryland. And today we are doing a market update video for the real estate market here in central Maryland and going over the figures that were recently released here in the last few days in regards to June's figures in regards to the real estate market here in Maryland. So just wanted to make a quick video and go over some of those things with you. And first off, just wanted to start with a couple just kind of pointers, just kind of things that I'm noticing in today's current market, just to give you an idea, just in case you are considering jumping in and either being a seller or a buyer in today's real estate market here in Maryland. So for buyers and for sellers, we're still seeing a decent amount, a lot of multiple offers. I will say it kind of just depends. It seems like it's kind of becoming more specific to locations. It can be kind of hit and miss depending on where you're at within central Maryland in regards to the multiple offers, but it is still pretty active in today's market. So if you're a buyer, I always think that being pre-approved or at least having a conversation with a lender going into looking at some homes can be helpful, not to feel pressured or feel completely committed to being a buyer in today's market, but it just allows you to act quickly if you stumble across a home that seems to be a good fit and that feels perfect for you, because some of these homes and a lot of these homes are still flying off the shelf in the first weekend, 2 to 3 days. But then to piggyback on that as well, is we are starting to see more sellers, not every seller, but a lot more sellers just kind of jump on really good offers quickly in the first 24 to 48 hours. Whereas it seemed like, 18 to 24 months ago, it's almost like every property had a deadline, so you had the entire weekend, you could kind of take your time, with coming up with figures and coming up with structuring your offers. But it seems like more sellers now are saying, hey, if we get what we're looking for, we're just going to jump on that and take it right off the market, cancel open houses, things of that nature. So if you're a buyer, having that conversation with a good quality lender so you know exactly what your options are and what your comfort level is going into touring some homes can be helpful. Pre-approvals are normally good for 90 to 120 days, depending on the credit company that lender uses. And then they expire after that just due to credit. But reviving that pre-approval is normally pretty simple as long as there's no major changes in income and assets. They just got to relook at that credit and repull that credit. So those are a couple pointers for buyers. For sellers, just kind of, I feel like being right on top of, your home's showing condition is of most critical importance in today's market. So when these buyers start bidding and competing against each other, the ones that they want to do that on are the ones that show the absolute best. So focusing on every last detail when it comes to preparing your home for the market as far as its overall showing condition is just really critical in today's market. So it seems like certain homes are starting to sit. The ones that do not, the ones that go really quickly and the ones that buyers fight over are the ones that are priced right and the ones that just show a lot of care, a lot of upkeep by the owners over the years. So for sellers, that's something that I would put highly focus on in today's market. And then just to give you an idea on where interest rates are at currently. So we're looking at today, and this is just kind of a general, market interest rate, based on some resources that I follow that pull from, a lot of different banks across the country. But we're looking at a typical 30-year conventional mortgage right now, right around 7%. Now that's going to be, it's going to depend on the overall profile of the buyer, credit, loan to value, debt to income, all sorts of things. But that's, kind of where it's at right now as far as a general market, conventional 30-year mortgage. Now there's going to be things that come into play, like, are you buying a condo? Are you buying, what price point are you in? Are you above the county loan limit? Are you kind of below that? So there's a lot of factors that can come into that. But overall, that's where we're seeing conventional 30-year mortgage rates right now. And then, of course, if you want to buy the rate down, you can get that lower, but at a no cost 30-year fixed rate. That's kind of what we're seeing right now. And then you've got your government loans. Your government loans are your VA and your FHA, and those are sitting right around 6.675 right now. For those loans, and kind of the same thing, depending on the overall profile, the circumstance, that rate can adjust upwards or downwards. So just to give you an idea of where we're at now, these, and I've been talking about this a lot for the last several months, probably for the last year now, is these higher rates have continued to put a pinch on inventory. So it's just harder for people to make those moves, or they just don't want to give up maybe that rate that they have that's much lower in the 3s or maybe the low 4s. So we're just continuing to see low inventory, especially here in central Maryland. We're sitting statewide for Maryland at 1.4 months of inventory, also known as the absorption rate. So what that is And what that means is that in 1.4 months, all existing homes active on the market would go into contract and sell. So, that's kind of what that means. It's not a perfect science or an exact science, but that's kind of how we measure, the inventory levels that we have, and that's kind of where we're sitting. So traditionally, under 3 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. Once you get to that 3 to 6 months of inventory, you're looking at kind of a neutral market, and then north of 6 months is what starts becoming known as a buyer's market. So still a heavy seller's market with the current low inventory that we have, and that's what we're looking at right now. All right, so diving into Maryland housing statistics as a whole for June of 2023, we are looking at a units sold decline of 22%. So, with these higher interest rates, with all the things going on in the marketplace, it's never just one thing, but there's always multiple things contributing to these things in the marketplace. We're looking at 22% less transactions happening in June of this year versus June of last year. We've got an average sales price across the state of Maryland up 2.9% year over year, and then a median price increase of 1.3%. Year over year. So it jumped up from $410,000 in June of 2022 to $415,000 in June of 2023. We've got active inventory, as mentioned, at 1.4 months of inventory. So, still very low, which is going to cause that competition, and it's going to cause, most of these existing homes coming to the market selling very fast, most in 7 to 10 days or less. And then, as always, jumping into some of the local counties here to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. We're going to start with Anne Arundel County. Units sold year over year down 23.5%. And then we've got average sales price jumping up 7.5%, which is an increase from $564,000 and change up to $606,000 and change. And then a median sales price jumping up 10.3%, up from $452,000 to $498,000 and some change. So, pretty significant increases there in Anne Arundel County. And then we are sitting at 1.1 months of inventory in Anne Arundel County, with 6 days as the median days on market. So your typical median home on the market is selling in under a week in Anne Arundel County. Jumping to Baltimore County, we've got a units sold decrease of 20.5%. We've got an average sales price in Baltimore County up 6.5%, and a median sales price in Baltimore County up 2.7%, which is an increase from $335,000 up to $344,000. And then we've got 1.1 months of inventory as well in Baltimore County, and a median days on market of 5 days on the market for Baltimore County. So still those, typical numbers that we've been seeing for a while now. Jumping over to Howard County, we've got a units sold decrease of 30%. In Howard County, we've got an average sales price increase of 4.5%, and then a median sales price increase of 8.9%, which is an increase from $575,000 up to $626,000. And then we've got 1 month of inventory even in Howard County, with a median days on market of 5 days. And then jumping over to Montgomery County, we've got a 24.3% decrease of units sold. Year over year, we've got an average sales price increase of 6% and a median sales price increase of 5%, which is an increase from $600,000 up to $630,000 in Montgomery County. And then we've got just under 1 month of inventory, 0.9 months of inventory in Montgomery County, with a median days on market of 6 days. And then jumping over a little east to Prince George's County, we've got a sales units sold decrease of 18.7%. We've got an average sales price increase of 3.6% and a median sales price increase of 2.4%, up from $415,000 to $425,000. And then we've got 1.3 months of inventory in Prince George's County, with a median days on market of 9 days. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope I didn't bore you with some of these statistics from Maryland Association of Realtors. They come out with these numbers and these stats every month, so I definitely want to share those with you to keep you up to date on what's going on in our real estate market. If you ever have any questions about buying, selling a home here in Central Maryland, we absolutely love having conversations and helping people out with figuring out their options and what best makes sense in this marketplace. So hope you have an awesome day, and we will see you at the next video.